Traders, FX Pip Collector here. Today is Saturday, July 27th, and this is my Saturday video I like to do, where I go through the full list of pairs and we look at things that we potentially should keep an eye out for next week. We take a look at what direction I think we should be trading in, and we take a quick look at the news calendar so that way we know what we got to look forward to for the week to come. So let's start off, we're going to start off at the bottom of the list, S&P 500. We're going to work our way all the way up this whole list of pairs, all the way up to the more popular pairs, the US dollar pairs like the euro, the pound, Aussie dollar. Before we do that, let's check out the news calendar because we do have a lot of really good and important news events coming out this week. So Monday on the 29th, there really isn't a whole lot going on that day, but from that point on, we definitely got a lot going on. So we got a little bit of, we got Spanish CPI, we got Germany CPI coming out on Tuesday. Definitely not too bad right there. We also have consumer confidence and job openings for the US dollar. That's definitely a pretty decent news event. But then going into Tuesday, we got CPI for the Aussie. That is definitely going to be a good one. We also have Bank of Japan interest rate news on Wednesday. That's definitely another really good one. They got a press conference. Usually the press conference is when the market does decide to make a move. We got GDP for the CAD, definitely a pretty decent one. And on Wednesday, we got interest rate for the US dollar. We got FOMC statement, and we got federal funds interest rate on Wednesday. I will be live streaming on YouTube for this interest rate news, so definitely make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that live stream. That's going to be a really good news event for sure. And then moving on to Thursday, we also have interest rate for the Bank of England. So we have interest rate for the pound on Thursday. And then we have unemployment claims for the dollar. We got IMS PMI for the US dollar. And then on Friday, we also have non-farm payroll this week. So we have a lot of stuff going on this week. And we have CPI for the Swiss this week. So we got like 3 different countries doing the interest rate this week. We got CPI out of like 3 different countries, and we got non-farm payroll this week. So we got a lot of news coming out this week for sure. So before we get started, I just want to mention that I do have a membership, and with my membership, it is only $30 a month. It's extremely cheap, but with my membership, it comes with a trading course, which is 35 videos long. I also do Zoom meetings every day of the week, every weekday. I do London Zoom meetings and I do New York Zoom meetings where we look for trades together as a group. And I like to call it learn and earn at the same time because hopefully while you're learning the trade by following along with my trading course and attending my Zoom meetings, hopefully you can earn some money at the same time that you're learning by following along with some of my swing trades. Now, every single swing trade I do take, which I am a swing trader, I am definitely not a scalper, but every single swing trade I take, I share with the group at the time of entry with my stop loss. So you can literally follow along and take every single trade that I take if you would like to. Now, this is my Discord channel right here, and once you become a member, all these members channels from here down get unlocked. Now, these are the trades that I took this week with the members. If anybody wants to pause the video, you can go through and take a closer look at this. I got the entry price, the stop loss, and the take profit. These are the trades that I took this week. Like I said, I'm a swing trader. I'm not a scalper, so it's not like you're never going to see me on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute time frames, but I am a swing trader. I take trades on like the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour time frame, and these are the trades that I took this last week. And it was an extremely profitable week for me. This is my personal trading account right here. This is a screenshot that I took yesterday at 4:24 before the market closed. This is my personal trading account. This is my the money that I made last week with my personal trading account. I made it just under $1,200. And then I also have a funded trading account, which is twice the size of my personal trading account. So my funded trading account made about $2,400, and my personal trading account made about $1,200. So I had about a about $3,700 week this previous week. So definitely a very good week, and every single trade that I took this last week is on this list right here. At the time of entry, I said every single trade that I took, and like I said, I made about $3,700 between my 2 trading accounts last week. So definitely a very good trading week for sure. Every single trade that I took, I stayed with the group at the time of entry. So if anybody is interested, it is only $30 a month. The link is in the description of the video. It's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now. FXPipCollector.com is how you sign up. And you can cancel at any time if you're not satisfied, but I definitely think you will be satisfied, especially when you start following along with some of my trades and you start learning to trade for yourself, which the main purpose of my membership is definitely to teach you to trade. So anyways, let's go to the charts. We're going to start at the S&P 500. We're going to work our way all the way up to the euro dollar, and we're going to check out the roadmap time frame. The daily time frame is the roadmap time frame that tells you what to do on the sorter time frames. I personally only trade in one direction on the sorter time frames, and I only trade in the direction that my daily roadmap time frame tells me to trade in. Kind of, for me, it's kind of like the daily to weekly time frame is my roadmap, and I take entries on like the 1 hour to 4 hour time frame, maybe like the 45-minute to 4 hour time frame, maybe. You're never, ever going to find me on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute time frame looking for trades. So anyways, the S&P 500 did break structure to the downside this previous week. And because it did break structure to the downside, the trend is definitely down on the daily right now, which means I'm looking for shorts on sort of time frames. Most likely what's going to happen now, because my weekly monthly time frame is definitely still up, I think we are still in a wave 3 on those higher time frames. So most likely we are going to make a correction to these previous 5 waves. This is a nice little 5-wave trend. So I would expect to see some sort of a 3-wave pattern. I think it's going to go down to at least 50 to 61.8 before we get another impulsive move up and another continuation of the uptrend. So as of right now, because it broke to the downside, I'm definitely looking for shorts in a downtrend on sorter time frames. Moving down to natural gas. Natural gas definitely to me looks like a 1-2, and it's probably like a 3, a 4, and we're probably in a wave 5 right now. But honestly, I would not be surprised at all if natural gas did go down and break these lows right here, because it did on the weekly time frame. It did make a lower high, and it did make a lower high. I bet now it's going to make a lower low on the weekly time frame, which means that it probably will end up eventually making its way all the way down beyond this 100% Fibonacci retracement level that I have on here. So I'm definitely looking for shorts. I actually had a really nice short this week on natural gas. Oil, I was hoping oil was going to end the wave 2. What I'm hoping is going on here is I'm hoping this is a 1. I'm hoping that this is a 2. Now I'm watching these last couple Fibonacci levels very, very closely for like a nice engulfing move up and a nice break of structure, so that way I can start looking for longs for wave 3. But right now I am definitely looking for shorts until I get proof that the wave 3 has started. There's definitely no proof that it started yet, and I'm definitely looking for shorts on sort of time frame until my roadmap time frame tells me that we did end the correction and turn back up with a breaker structure to the upside. Moving on to gold, I actually think, I do have my Fibonacci retracement on here just in case it does decide to bounce off a Fib level, break structure, and continue the uptrend, because my target is still around the $2,550 to $2,600 area. But looking at this in an Elliot wave eyes, I think this is definitely probably a wave A. I think this is 1, 2, 3 waves up for probably a wave B. And I think that more than likely we are going down and we will take out these lows right here for a wave C before we actually continue the uptrend. This is probably a wave 3 over here. This is probably a wave 4, and then eventually we're going to go up for a wave 5. I still think that we need to go up to at least the $2,550 to $2,600 area to finish this uptrend on the weekly, monthly time frames. So, moving on to the CAD Swiss. I am definitely looking for shorts on the CAD Swiss. The fact that we closed below the 78% Fibonacci tells me that it almost definitely will end up probably closing below the 100%. Normally when price closes above or below the 78%, it will end up just continuing down and making new lows and making new highs. So I am definitely looking for shorts on sort of time frames on pullbacks. Kiwi Swiss, I think the Kiwi Swiss is likely in a wave 5. I think this is the end of a wave 4. I think we're in a wave 5 right now on the weekly monthly. I think that means this is a 1 of 5, a 2 of 5, and we're currently in a wave 3 of wave 5. Definitely looking for shorts on sort of time frames. Even to end this trend right here, we would have to make a wave 4, and we'd have to make a wave 5 like that just to end this sensitive trend. So definitely looking for more shorts on this. The Kiwi CAD is another good example of price closing below the 78%. Normally when price closes below the 78%, that means it's just going to keep on going and eventually close below the 100% also. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for more pullback entries to go short on the Kiwi CAD also. Moving on to the Aussie Kiwi. The Aussie Kiwi to me does look like something that potentially could make a move down. It does look like impulsive down, like it possibly is a wave A and possibly a wave B, and possibly go down maybe to one of these lower Fibonacci levels for a wave C. I definitely think that is a pretty likely possibility to do something like that. Now, the trend is definitely up. And that means that what could happen is that this could easily just keep on going up like that, which is why I am not looking for shorts. Like I said, I only trade in one direction. I'm currently looking for longs. If it does decide to go down like this, then I won't take the short, but instead I'll wait for the Fibonacci bounce to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. If if you are a short time frame trader and you don't really mind counter trend trading, you probably could get a short out of this. I trade about 34 pairs across the list right here, so there's no reason why I need to even think about counter trend trading. I'm a trend trader through and through, and I'm only looking for longs, and I'm only going to go long on pullbacks. Moving on to the Kiwi Swiss. I mean, I'm definitely looking for shorts on the Kiwi Swiss. It's either a wave A or a wave 1. It's either a wave B or a wave 2. And we're now either in a wave 3 or a wave C. If it is a wave C, then it potentially would make that double bottom, that 3, 4, 5 shape, and then it would break structure. If I see this picture right here, I'm definitely going to stop looking for longs and stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs again for the continuation of the uptrend. If I don't see that picture, but instead it just keeps on making lower lows, lower highs, then guess what? I'm looking for shorts on shorter time frames, so it doesn't matter to me if it keeps on making lower lows, lower highs. Moving on to the Aussie CAD. Just like the Aussie dollar, which we'll cover in a minute here, I'm actually still kind of curious to think that this is actually, I'm not really convinced this is actually just going to do this. I think there's actually like a trend right here, just like the Aussie dollar. I think this could be like a wave 1. I think this could be like an expanding flat, so this would be 3 waves of A, 3 waves of B, and now we're in 5 waves of C. I think there's a very good chance we're going to make a double bottom at one of these Fibonacci levels, you know, that 3, 4, 5 shape in Elliot wave terms, and then we're going to break structure, and then we're going to continue the uptrend. I think it's like likely to be a wave 2 and then go up for a wave 3. I am definitely looking for shorts on shorter time frames right now until I see this picture, and if I don't see this picture and it just keeps on stretching out, then fine, I'll just keep on looking for shorts. No big deal to me. So moving on to the pound Kiwi, yeah, I honestly think that these Aussie Kiwi crosses, the pound Aussie to pound Kiwi, the Euro Aussie to Euro Kiwi, definitely in a big uptrend. There is no reason at all to think this trend is over. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some pullbacks, but for me, pullbacks are really good news because those give us an opportunity to go long again for the continuation of the uptrend. So I'm definitely looking for longs. No Fibonacci bounce, no break of structure, no reason to do anything but look for longs on shorter time frames. Pretty much the exact same story for the pound Aussie. We have no Fibonacci bounce, we have no break of structure. I mean, that little spike candle right there definitely doesn't stop me from looking for longs. Every single pullback I see on shorter time frames, I'm looking to get long for the continuation of the uptrend. We had a couple pretty good long opportunities on some of these pairs. So moving on to the Kiwi Swiss, the pound Swiss that is. Just like some of the other Swiss pairs, I am kind of curious if this is going to go up, especially on the pound Swiss and the euro Swiss. I think this right here is a running ABC correction right here, like 3 waves of A, 3 waves of B, 5 waves of C, higher high wave C, higher high wave B. It looks like a running flat. If that's true, then that means that this right here is 5 waves up for 1 and that we're currently in a wave 2. If we are currently in a wave 2, then this is likely going to do something like this, break structure at a Fibonacci level and continue the uptrend. I am 100% looking for shorts on shorter time frames right now. If I see this picture right here with a break of structure, I will stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs. If I do not see that picture, but instead it keeps on doing lower lows, lower highs, then I'll continue to look for shorts. But I am definitely keeping an eye on these fib levels on the pound and the euro Swiss because I think there's a good chance this is a wave 2. I think there's a good chance this could continue the uptrend this week. So keep an eye out for that, or keep an eye out for signs of a turn to the upside on that one for sure. The pound CAD, I honestly think the pound CAD on the weekly, monthly time frame has lots of upside potential. It definitely looks like we're kind of topping out a little bit, which means I think there is a pretty good chance that we'll make a bigger pullback. But for me, until I see reason otherwise, I am definitely only looking to go long, and I'm only looking to go long on pullbacks. So like I said, I think there is lots of upside potential on these pairs. So I'm definitely going to continue to look for longs every chance I get. Moving on to the Euro Kiwi, just like the Pound Kiwi and the Pound Aussie, there is no reason at all to think this trend is over. We are definitely in a wave 3 right now. There's no doubt about that. No Fibonacci bounce, no lower high, no big engulfing move to the downside tells me that there's no reason to do anything except for look for longs on shorter time frames, which is exactly what I'm going to continue to do the coming up week until proven otherwise. I'm actually still long on the USD, and just like the other ones, there's really no reason to do anything besides look for more longs. I mean, if it does go down, then great. I'm just going to go long every single chance I get. No break or struts on this roadmap time frame, no lower high. The trend is your friend. I'm telling you, if you trade with the trend, you are going to be way more consistent in your trading, and you're going to be way more profitable. The problem is most traders are going to look at this and say, "Ooh, that's probably topped out. I'm going to go short," and then what happens is it goes down just a little bit and then it shoots right back up. The trend is your friend. On your roadmap time frame, I do not start trading in the opposite direction until my higher time frame proves that the trend is going, that we have a turn in the market, like something like this. If I see that, then I'll start looking for shorts. Otherwise, longs only for me. I'm still long on the Euro Pound. I got a log on this thing way down right at the low, so I have my Fibonacci retracement on here because there is a possibility that this is a correction to this move down. There is a possibility that we bounce from a Fibonacci level and end up continuing back down. But I do see this as a possible wave 5 right here. It definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it is a wave 5, then it definitely will break the high of wave 4. And this would not be an ABC, but instead it would be a 1, 2, 3, and it would probably look like that, making a 5-way pattern to the upside for either wave A or wave 1. So I'm definitely keeping a very close eye on my fib levels just in case, but I definitely think this is the more likely scenario that it will go up and take out the high of wave 4. I'm long right now, and I'm going to be looking for more longs going into the week coming up. The Euro Swiss, just like the Pound Swiss, I suspect that this is an ABC right here. I think this is an expanding flat. The Pound Swiss made it a running flat because the pound's a little bit stronger. But I definitely am looking at this as an ABC. I'm definitely looking at this as an uptrend, most likely at 1. I still think this is a 2. I am 100% looking for shorts right now on shorter time frames until I see proof otherwise. And if it just keeps going down, then no problem. I'm looking for shorts anyways. But if I see a Fibonacci bounce and I see an end of a trend, then I definitely will stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs again because it probably would be a wave 3 to come. But until we see proof that the wave 3 is started, I'm definitely looking for shorts on shorter time frames. EuroCAD, we are at a Fibonacci level at the EuroCAD, but it really looks like it's just blowing by it. I went long, I think, twice on the EuroCAD this week. And I'm probably going to continue to look for longs again this week unless it does this. If it does this, I'll start looking for shorts. Otherwise, I'm longs only and only going to go long on pullbacks on shorter time frames. So, the yen pairs. I think that we probably have ended a wave 3 on the weekly, monthly time frame on all the yen pairs, which means that we're in a wave 4 right now. Now, you need to understand that if this really is a wave 4 on the weekly, monthly time frame, then this wave 4 is probably going to last a minimum of 8 months to a year, which means that this correction is literally going to last probably until next spring, maybe next May, maybe next June, is when this wave 4 is likely to be over on every single one of these yen pairs. So just be aware that I think this is a wave 4, and a wave 4 is not going to do that. It's not just going to continue up, within a month or so. This thing is going to stretch out into probably about an 8-month long correction. We are probably only in a wave A right now, and we may only be in a wave 1 of wave A. This thing could literally turn into something like this easily. So I am definitely on all the yen pairs. One of the reasons why I do like the yen pairs so well is they're so well correlated. They're all doing exactly the same thing for the most part. And it looks to me like we're in a wave A of wave 4 on all of them on the weekly time frame. And this wave A alone is probably going to last maybe 2 to 3 months. So don't be thinking that this wave A is over already, because it is almost definitely not over. At some point it probably will make a move to the upside, but that move is going to almost definitely be a correction. I think it's more likely to stretch out to something like this, which would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave A. And then we'll have to make a big wave B, and then we'll have to make a big wave C, which altogether will probably take about 8 months minimum. So every single one of these yen pairs is exactly the same story. Yes, at some point it probably will start a pretty decent sized correction, but it is almost definitely going to continue down if it really is a wave 4, which I think it is a wave 4, and it most likely is only a wave A of wave 4. So I am definitely looking for shorts on every single yen pair. There's no reason to think otherwise on any of them. They are all right now in a wave A, and they're probably only in a wave 1 of wave A in my opinion. So I'm definitely looking for shorts on every single yen pair. I do kind of skip through the yen pairs really fast because there is no real point in analyzing them separately. They're all doing exactly the same thing, just different versions of the same pattern, which for me is most likely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave A, which is a wave A of wave 4. So I think we're going to be looking for shorts on the yen pairs for probably at least a month or two. Then when the wave A is over, we'll probably be looking for longs for a month or two. And then when the wave B is over, we'll be looking for shorts for a few months. Like I said, this thing is literally going to last probably 8 months altogether. Same thing with the euro again. We're only in a wave A right now. Probably only a wave 1 of wave A in my opinion. Now the dollar yen is definitely a little bit different. I think the dollar yen is actually a wave 5, but it's exactly the same story. Right now we're probably in either a wave A or a wave 1, and we're in a big downtrend that's probably going to end up looking something like this eventually. So I would expect to see 5 waves down, and I would call this a wave A potentially too, but it could possibly be a wave 1 also. So I would expect to see 5 waves down for either a wave A or a wave 1 now. So moving on to the US dollar Swiss. I got my Fibonacci level on the US dollar Swiss uptrend that we have over here. I would definitely expect this move down to probably be a crutch into the move up. I'm watching my Fibonacci levels very closely for evidence that the trend is over, or evidence that the correction is over, which I definitely do not see yet. I am 100% looking for shorts on sort of time frames right now until we get like a double bottom and a break of structure at a Fibonacci level, which it definitely does not have to happen now. It could easily go down to one of these lower fib levels. So until we see this picture right here, we are 100% looking for shorts on sort of time frames. So moving on to the US dollar CAD. I think the US dollar CAD is probably in a wave 5. We are at the previous highs right now, so maybe this is where it's going to end the wave 5. You can't really see the end of a trend on this time frame, unfortunately. You kind of got to go down to a little bit of a shorter time frame. But if you do see a big impulsive move down, if you do see a break of structure on like maybe the 4 to 8 hour time frame, then most likely that is the end of a wave 5. And most likely that would be the beginning of a big move to the downside. So right now, there's definitely no evidence of that starting. We definitely got to keep an eye out for it, and I definitely am looking for longs on sort of time frames until I really do see evidence of that starting. So I still think that this is going to make a big move to the downside at some point. It just has not begun yet. I definitely am looking for longs on sort of time frames until we see evidence that it has started. So moving on to the Kiwi dollar. The Kiwi dollar, I actually think the Kiwi dollar is now in a wave C. I think this right here is a wave A. I think we have a big odd looking wave B in the middle, and I think this is a 1, this is a 2, and we're in a wave 3 of wave C right now. The fact that we're closing below the 78% Fibonacci tells me we are almost definitely going to take out the previous lows, so I would expect to see more sorting opportunities on shorter time frames, definitely. Most likely it's a wave C, so once it does take out these lows, we got to keep an eye out for a break of structure, end of a trend, and continuation of the uptrend. I personally still think this is going to trend up on the much higher time frames. So, moving on to the Aussie dollar, pound dollar, and US dollar. Before I do so, definitely make sure you at least check out my website. I definitely think you're going to be very happy if you do sign up. It is only $30 a month. I do share every single swing trade that I do take with the group at the time of entry. It also comes with a trading course, and it also comes with all these live Zoom meetings that I do every single weekday. So definitely check it out. I like to call it learn and earn at the same time because while you're learning the trade, you're going to be earning by following along with my swing trades. And like I said, you can pause the video and take a look at some of my swing trades if you like. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I made about $3,600 on my swing trades last week. And those, every single one of those trades I said with the group at the time of entry. So, moving on to the Aussie dollar. Just like the Aussie CAD that I was just talking about, I honestly still think this is the end of a correction right here. I think this is 5 waves up like wave 1. I think this is 3 waves down, so 3 waves of A. I think it's 1, 2, 3 A, 1, 2, 3, so 3 waves of B, so 3 waves of B, and now I think we're looking at a 5-way pattern to the downside, so 5 waves of wave C. I think that this is going to break structure to the upside probably this week, and I think it's probably going to continue the uptrend. I think this is a 1. I think this is an expanding flat wave 2, and I think we're going to go up for a wave 3. But until we actually see this picture right here with the 3, 4, 5 say break a structure, I definitely would be looking for shorts on shorter time frames. It might stretch out. It might end up going like that. The most likely place for an expanding flat to end once you go past the 178 is actually the 261, 278. So it definitely could go down quite a bit further. I'm still holding a short on the Aussie dollar, pound dollar, and euro dollar. So moving on to the pound dollar, I definitely think this move down right here is a correction to this last wave up. I think it's going to have to make some sort of a 3-way pattern, probably down to one of these lower Fibonacci levels. We got a little rally-based rally right there that probably will be a pretty good area of resistance. I think at one of the big news events that we have this week, the pound dollar is going to end up continuing the uptrend. But just like everything else, I am following along. I'm taking it one step at a time. So guess what I'm doing right now? I'm looking for shorts on shorter time frames until I can actually prove that this correction is over, which I definitely cannot do yet. For me, something like that would tell me that the correction is over. But right now, I am looking for shorts on shorter time frames. It's probably going to go down a little bit more. Probably going to make some sort of a 3-way pattern. Probably going to go down, touch the Fibonacci level before it actually does end up continuing the uptrend. So moving on to the euro dollar, pretty much everybody's favorite pair. Euro dollar, pretty much the same as the pound dollar. I'm already short on the euro dollar. We have a breaker structure to the downside on the euro dollar right there. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we have a breaker structure to the downside. So my roadmap daily time frame is definitely telling me to look for shorts. I do suspect that it probably is going to make some sort of a pattern like this. I do suspect that it will go down further. Probably we also have a rally-based rally right here also, so there's probably a good chance that it's going to go at least to the 50% before it does end up continuing the uptrend. I also suspect that this is a 1, a 2, and a wave 3. I am definitely looking for shorts on shorter time frames. It's probably going to be at least Wednesday or maybe even probably Wednesday or so before we actually do get the end of a correction, because we have interest rate news on Wednesday. So at the beginning of the week, I definitely will be continuing to look for shorts on shorter time frames. The trend is your friend. Like I said, I only trade in one direction. If the daily time frame is going down, I only look for shorts on pullbacks. If the daily time frame is going up, I only look for longs on pullbacks. You're going to be way more consistent. You're going to be way more profitable if you trade with the trend and you stop trying to identify tops and bottoms on your roadmap time frame. The market will tell you when there's a top and a bottom, and you don't really have to guess if you know how to read the markets, which I definitely do teach people how to read the markets in my trading course, my daily Zoom meetings. So like I said, if anybody's interested, definitely check out the website, FXPipCollector.com. It's in the description. It's also scrolling on the screen right now. It's only $30 a month. I definitely think you'll be happy with that. I keep the membership very cheap because I want people to be able to afford it. And I'm not looking to get rich off my membership. I'm looking to get rich from my trading. So anyways, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. And as always, thank you and happy trading to everyone.